Welcome to the first vlog of 2024. The first vlog I've ever done in this kind of format. For those of you who don't know me, and I'm going to assume at this point that's everyone, because I have been vlogging on and off in some capacity for about 4 years, but it's been very sporadic. I wouldn't really call it vlogging. They've been well-being videos under the umbrella of Black Dog Diaries. So if you've ever heard of Black Dog Diaries, you may have come across me. If not, my name's David Bryan. I am a 38-year-old man who has struggled a lot with mental health in his life. Found a way through. Yeah. I found a way through. Still finding a way through. I've used all sorts of methods, from prescribed medication to therapy, talking therapy, cold water therapy. I've had to deal with drug and alcohol addiction. I'm currently 15 days post-op from having a hernia repair, an inguinal hernia, right down there. For those of you who don't know what an inguinal hernia is, look it up. It's lots of fun. Basically, it's where the lining that holds my intestines breaks, and my intestines go and have a party with my testicles. It's not a good time. I got diagnosed with that about 8 months ago, although I'm pretty sure I had it for a good solid year. And because of my job at the time, which was singing with a band, I just kept making it worse and worse and worse. And here we are now. We are 15 days post-op, and so much has changed since that operation, I can't even tell you. The trajectory of my life just seems to have... it's just zigged and zagged all over the place. I've barely been able to keep up, so I had to sort of sit there and, with the help of my girlfriend, my best friend, I basically sat there with her and I said, these are the things I want to do. I think these are the things I want to do. I don't know how to do them all. Not that you can do everything, but I don't know how to make them all work with each other without just running around like this headless chicken trying to do all these little things I like to do. So after a bit of planning, a few lists. What's the plan, David? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you. The plan is, I've broken up all of the social media platforms that I think I'd like to use and made a list. Shall I show you the list? I'll show you the list. Welcome to David's list. This is the list of all the things that I would like to do on social media in order to further my chosen career path. We are starting from the scratch on how well we know each other. So, I am going to university. I'm in my second year and I'm just about to go into my third year. So I'm a year away from graduating. And this is what I mean by the trajectory of my life. I can feel it all finally coming together. I mean, I had a really serious mental collapse a good 10 years ago. And it's been the fight of my life. It has been the fight of my life, and we're finally coming out of it. And even though my head is in a better place, there's so much repercussions from such a prolonged period of poor mental health. So a few years back, I decided to go back to university. I did a foundation year as well to add on to the degree, and that was only because I'd been out of education for so long. I had no idea how well I'd cope with it, so I thought, best do the foundation year. I'm doing a degree in creative writing and teaching English as a second language. All the things I've done through my life, whether it's been doing the Black Dog Diaries thing, vlogging there, talking to people on TikTok, sharing my mental health journey, singing in a band, performing in musical theatre, singing in concerts, writing songs, writing poetry, wanting to write stories. I love films. I love computer games. I love playing with Lego. I'm just a big kid. But I love stories. I love telling stories. I love making stories. I've always loved how a story can take someone out of that moment and put them somewhere else. Somewhere that's not in their life. To be able to escape into a film or a book or a game or go and see a concert or listen to a song that'll make you cry or smile. I think that's the closest thing to magic that humans can produce. I want to be someone who can do that. I want to be someone who can help pull people out of their misery, drudgery, every day. I want to be someone who can help people through life. Because it helped me. So I want to be a storyteller. We're going to do some weekly vlogs so you can keep up to date on how it's all going. We're going to graduate. I'm going to make a podcast. I think that's going to be more geared towards the sort of mental health side of things. I'm going to carry on with Black Dog Diaries because I think it's important. It has a place. A friend suggested a platform called Substack. Substack is a bit like YouTube, I guess, for content creators, but writers instead of filmmakers. And you can write whatever you want on your profile, and it's there for the world to read and see. And I guess the more you write, the more people will see it if they like it. I don't really know much about it yet, so we're going to explore that. I've set up a new email address to streamline everything. So that's what's happening, that side of things. So you're watching this, which will be the new David Bryan vlog. Everything that was Black Dog Diaries is changing to David Bryan, and then we're going to tackle things in a more orderly fashion, which is very unlike me. Not an orderly person. So that's your morning debrief. Debrief from DB. I don't know how the rest of the day is going to go, but we'll work it out. We are going to go upstairs in a bit and look at branding, which is another favourite thing of mine to do, which I guess all ties in with storytelling, really. It's a visual thing, isn't it? So we're going to go up on the computer, we're going to look at the brand that is David Bryan and see what we can do with it, see how we can make it me. We'll go from there, shall we? Enjoy your breakfast. Walk of the day, and I'm challenging myself, probably challenging myself a bit too much actually. Didn't really think that through, but we'll do it, it'll be fine. It's actually pretty sturdy. We're just taking it nice and slow. So I am 15 days post-operation from having a hernia repair. Yeah, of course there'd be a car coming right now. It was supposed to be keyhole surgery. It ended up being open surgery. It's quite a big patch job, but it's all done now, and we're just recovering. I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. Bearing in mind, I'm pretty sure I had this hernia for at least all of last year. Must have done. I remember feeling pains and twinges before I had it diagnosed. And I got diagnosed pretty much the same month or thereabouts. I owned up to the fact I had an addiction. So the hernia really forced me to stop. It forced me to stop. It forced me to rest. It forced me to focus on my recovery. I was singing in a band at the time. That really forced me to take a step back from that life as well. I think it was a blessing in disguise. I'm not sure how far along I'd be right now in my recovery if it wasn't for this hernia. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes it's very hard to see the positives when you're being hit with such negatives. And don't get me wrong, having a hernia is a horrendous thing. Wouldn't recommend it for anyone. Very common apparently. So now we have changed things up from being in increasing increments of pain, but also having to be careful so I don't damage it or strangulate it, but also trying to keep active. And now we flipped it on its head where I'm in decreasing levels of pain, and I've got to slowly build my strength back up. But I have to do it slowly. because otherwise I'll open up the entry point, whatever you call that, and this patch, this mesh that they've put in place, I could cause that to fail, which we really don't want. We'll build the strength up slowly and surely. I think I'm aiming for those trees. We'll see how I feel when I get there. It means lots of walking, trying to stay active, but obviously not trying to overdo it. I can't lift anything heavy. I can't even sing at the moment. I can't sing for like 6 to 10 weeks, or something like that. And even when I do, I've just got to sort of start from scratch, because all of that abdominal pressure, it's just not the one. We made it to the trees. This little junction here, that seems plenty. And it's on a slight incline as well. I've been going down to my local beachfront, Aberavon. It's got a lovely sort of concreted, is it promenade? Is that what we call it? And but it's just dead flat. So that's a lovely one to have been going to walk on, because those inclines and declines, they're obviously hitting different areas of my core. It's warmer out here than I thought. I've been absolutely freezing in the house. Ooh, feeling toasty now. It's funny, there's so much symmetry going on right now. So many patterns, so many things that are mirroring each other. You know, I don't find it any coincidence that I'm going through a period of great change, and emotionally I feel very sort of uncomfortable at the moment. Not in a negative sense, in a sense that I know I'm not in my usual safe place, but I'm also not unsafe. But I know I'm moving out of that safe space and trying to grow and trying to change, and it's uncomfortable. Here I am after this operation, feeling physically very uncomfortable, and my body is probably going through some pretty dramatic changes in the way it's having to hold itself, in what it's had to deal with, different kinds of pain now. My intestines were hanging way down lower than they should have done at one point, and now they're back up where they should be, and they're probably not happy about that either. It looks like my battery is going to die before I get back, so I'll see you back at the house. Hello everyone, welcome to the office. I was supposed to do this last night, but I got really tired. Ended up laying down for a lot longer than expected, but you know, post-op and all that. Have I mentioned that, by the way? Yeah, probably quite a lot. What I wanted to do on here was just have a look at sorting out a new logo for everything. That's my old Black Dog Diaries logo. This is my old David Bryan Creative Studios logo, and I think there's something there that maybe I can use, whether it's the DB and the circle or just generally the style of it. I think it could be reused, you know. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, the idea of this was, I'm a very, very visual person. I work very visually, and also I manifest very visually. So if I'm going to go for what it is I'm doing, I really like to have a logo in place, or something equivalent to a logo, even if it's just my name in a certain colour, whatever it's going to be, and then have that on all the platforms that I'm working with, whether it's like a little something in the corner when I'm doing a live feed, or something to go with the podcast. It just helps me visualise everything and see how I'm then going to move forward and proceed. So I tried my best to make a little mood board, trying my best to sort of encapsulate the things that caught my eye, what I'm trying to go for, and things that best represent me. I'm a big comic book nerd, huge comic book nerd, film fan, computer games. So there's a lot of sort of comic book art here that I'm looking at. Stanley, best writer in the world. I'll die on that hill. No, he's fantastic at what he does. There are some amazing other writers out there, but he is somewhat of an idol of mine. Obviously the colour orange, as you may have noticed. And then, do you know what? This one really caught my eye because I love the palette. Obviously blue and orange complement each other very, very well, but I love those particular shades, so I might hold on to that image just to use the shades that they've used. I really like that. Flash is one of my favourite comic book characters. Then fonts are hard. I mean, I love this little guy down here. Let's zoom in on him. I like that. It's quirky, it's fun. You know, I want to try and bring as much fun to this as possible. I am going to be talking about mental health. I am going to be talking about my journey. I don't want it to be all down and dreary. I think there's enough down and dreary on the internet. I want fun. I want colour. I want bright. Yeah.
This is a filmmaker. I liked it for a few reasons, because he calls himself a storyteller. Johnny White, look him up on YouTube. I've just liked him myself. I really liked his YouTube banner. Really simple. Just really stood out to me. I just like that, all the colour on that, really. There's a few ideas there. Still no idea what I'm going to do. No idea. But we're gonna look at David Bryan. It might have to be David Bryan Creative. And let me tell you why. Because there is a musician, a very famous musician, called David Bryan, spelt exactly the same way, who is the keyboardist for Bon Jovi. Fun fact, on at least one of my social media platforms every year, someone wishes me happy birthday on Bon Jovi's keyboardist's birthday. Even Bon Jovi did it one year. But, well, I say Bon Jovi did it. Bon Jovi's official Facebook page wished me happy birthday. Madness. So David Bryan comes with problems. So I only wish I had a lovely, unique name like Sasha Polari, but I don't. It's a strong name. Unfortunately, someone else famous already has it at the moment. So we might have to go for David Bryan Creative. So yeah, there's my little mood board. Just wanted to share that one with you. I just wanted to share that bit with you just to finish the vlog off, really, and introduce you to Office Cam, as we'll call it. Sometimes we'll be here when we're editing stuff or when we're doing other bits and pieces. This is where I'll most likely do my podcasts, maybe some singing, maybe some reviews. Who knows, really? Anything and everything. That's what we want. Endless possibilities. That's all for the very first vlog for David Bryan / David Bryan Creative / whatever it's going to turn out to be. Thanks for watching, everyone. Whoever did watch, and please please subscribe, so I can get this channel growing as fast as possible. And then the faster it grows, the more content I can churn out. I will see you very, very shortly.